Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Chelsea, and today is going to be a video that I actually get kind of requested a lot. I won't say a lot, but a couple of times. And this is really involving like how I moved to Dallas, how I picked it, should you move, what type of person this is for, etc. And there's a lot of things that go into this video. So I'm going to make like a 3-part series, and this is going to be the first one. So today I'm going to really talk about moving in general, why I moved, and then kind of give it a little bit of advice for those who've asked about that. And then I'm going to talk about the second part, which will be my career, switching careers, getting into HR, or just switching careers in general if that's you. And then if you want to get into HR, I'll also kind of give a few tips. And then point 3 is going to be about grad school and what my thoughts are, why I chose grad school, etc. All 3 of those are pretty much the same story, but I'm going to try to break it up. I tried to record this trying to record it with, or I tried to record this saying all 3, and then it was just so long. So I've decided to go ahead and just do it this way. Okay, I'm waiting to see if I got into school. I'm nervous. And they emailed me at 9 this morning and told me that they are real application. So now we'll see. I get in. Oh my god. Okay, so just a quick update. I got accepted. So I'm moving to Dallas on Saturday. 20 hours away, but it's gonna be worth it because I'm about to move to Dallas. He's gonna miss me.
I am. I won't be able to give you rides to your car.
Oh, I'm leaving.
My friend Chelsea is going to Texas to further educate herself, and she'll be coming back here to be our boss, we hope.
Will you miss me?
We missed you already, you know that.
Okay, this is all getting too real. I'm at the airport about to board my flight, my one-way flight to Dallas. It's weird. So I got a question that asks if I'm from Richmond Richmond, Virginia, and I want to move to Texas, but I want to move with no job. Do I suggest that? That is a very personal question, and thank you guys for asking me that because you trust my opinion. Well, I'm gonna just tell you my story, and I have a couple of points that I kind of want to make. Okay, so the first thing about that I would ask is, do you have a plan and do you have a reason? Those are 2 really important things that I think are really important for trying to decide if moving is for you, moving to another state, another city, across the country, across the world. Do you have a reason and do you have a plan? So for example, I moved to Dallas. I had an itch to move. I had a list of cities, and Dallas was one of them, but I didn't really have a reason. I just wanted to get up and move. And I mean, that is a reason in itself if you want to get up and move, but then if that is your reason, you just want to go to another city, you need to have a plan. So I will tell you that I moved with no job. I quit my job. I got accepted to grad school like at the very, very, very last minute, and then I quit my job and decided to move literally within like a week's time. But I had a plan. So I did know that I was coming here to go to grad school. So that was my plan and my reason. I got one in both. I was going to go to grad school in DC, but that's going to be a part of my grad school story. But I decided to go here, and it helped me achieve 2 goals at once. I wanted to move, and I wanted to go to grad school. But I also did not have a job, so I had a plan for how I was going to survive. So I did save up a little bit of money, not a lot. Trust me, not a lot. I probably had enough money to go probably 3 months or 4 months with nothing, living modestly, but I was gonna be able to pay my rent and eat and pay my car note and pay my insurance and stuff. I was gonna be able to pay my bills, but I wasn't gonna be living in anything lavish. So I did have that plan. But I did know that I had a degree. I'm very confident in myself. I was applying to jobs online and I wasn't really getting any hits. And this was honestly my story through college, trying to get a job. But I knew that if you get me in the door, so I kept telling myself, if you get me in the door, if I get to meet somebody, I am going to get a job. I knew that hands down. I didn't really have any other plan, but I did have enough faith and confidence in myself to tell myself, if you let me in your door, I'm gonna get a job. So that was my mindset. But I also had a plan B. So I also thought about, what kind of skills do I have if I can't get the dream job that I want? So I thought, well, I kind of like makeup. I can kind of do makeup. And they were opening up a new Morphe store at 2 Dallas malls at the time that I was moving here. And I saw on like Indeed or something that they were hiring. And they were having an open house, or not an open house, what do you call those? Like a job fair kind of hiring thing for Morphe. And I said, I'm gonna go to Morphe. I'm gonna come with my face beat. And I'm gonna work at Morphe. If I can't work at Morphe, I'm gonna apply to Nordstrom, I'm gonna apply to MAC, I was gonna apply to some type of makeup store, Ulta, Sephora, something. I was humbling myself. I was willing to make minimum wage or however much that they were gonna pay for me to have a job. So I did definitely have a plan B. I didn't even have to do that, but that was my plan B, and I knew that I was at least gonna be able to get that. So I would suggest, if you want to move or you have like this strong urge, make sure that you have a reason, make sure that you have a plan. Those are very, very, very important things. And for me, I had both of those. Another point that I want to make is, will you be supported? I had a very, very strong support system. So I was encouraged, especially by my mother. Like, she definitely encouraged me. She's always encouraged me to go for my dreams. So she was very supportive. And I also would say that I had support in a different way from other people. So like, for example, my father did not want me to come, and not because he didn't think that I could do it, but his way of supporting me was just telling me that you already have a job, you already have somewhere to live, you already have a good situation here in DC, so I think that it's better for you to just stay here. But for me, I also just knew in my heart that I didn't want to stay there for the time being, only because I felt like I was getting complacent. So I felt like I was just too comfortable. I didn't feel like I was growing in the way that I wanted to grow. I didn't feel like I was doing enough. I don't know why. I was actually doing pretty well, but there was something about it. I just didn't feel like I was doing enough, and I wasn't satisfied. I was thirsty for more. I was hungry for more, and I just wanted to do more. So I decided to go out on a limb. Another thing that I will tell you is, do not move or do not make any like rational decisions in confusion. I will tell you that I'm very impulsive, so I do make impulsive decisions at a quick, or like at a short span or whatever. But I will say that I prayed on that, and I prayed about moving, and I wrote my goals down, and I prayed on that for a long time. So even though I made the decision to move really quickly, this was something that was in my mind for 2 years, the whole 2 years that I was in DC full time. I stayed prayed up about that. And if you don't pray, I mean, consult your higher power. But for me, I am prayed up, and I just knew that I wanted to have more. And I feel like the way that God answered my prayers was by giving me the opportunity. So what actually happened was that I applied, or I inquired about my grad program probably like in February of 2018. I talked to the dean, and then I really didn't do anything else about it until August. They reached back out to me and asked me if I wanted to go. I forgot all about my school. So for me, I took that as a sign that I had been praying and I really wanted to move and I really wanted to go to grad school. And then boom, out of thin air, this opportunity came around. So I took that as a sign from God that I was ready to move, because I applied to so many jobs all over the country just for me to move, and I wasn't getting anything. So I think that you also need to be patient in your journey and making sure that you're not just going without any thought, without any decisions. And I feel like for me, it was definitely my time and the opportunity came, and I'm just so grateful and blessed that it did come. So something I will say to you if you want to move is do not be scared. Like, it's really not, I think that if your heart really desires it, don't be scared. Follow your heart, follow your dreams, but also be smart about the way in which you're going about it. For me, I have always been a child. So my family is pretty much all from like Virginia, and everybody in like my pretty much immediate family went to school close to home for college. And I was just not like that. I had been telling my mom from the longest, ever since I thought about college, I'm going to UCLA. I'm going to go as far as I possibly can. So my mom was probably already prepared for me to be the one to leave. So when it was time to go to college, I decided to go to University of Missouri. And at first I was like, why the heck would I go to Mizzou? I'm not going there. I don't know anybody there. It's so far. But when I went there, I fell in love with the school. And it honestly was the best decision that I could have made, because I was just really happy going far away. I didn't know anybody. I actually convinced my best friend to come, but I didn't really know anybody, and I think that that was really, it helped my growth tremendously. And then when it was time for graduation, I was ready to come back home. I went home for 2 years, and then I was kind of like, I want to go back. I want to go somewhere else. I still had some more growing up to do. So for me, I was able to grow tremendously by being away from home. So I always knew that I wanted to move. I really do want to end up back in DC. I think, you know, I don't know, child, wherever opportunity takes me. I'm honestly the person, wherever God tells me to go, I'm gonna go. I think that I would have never thought that I would have been in Dallas literally a month before that I even went there, but when God gave me the opportunity, I just went. So for me, I'm just gonna go wherever the Lord tells me to go. Whatever opportunities arise is where I'm supposed to be, and I believe I'm exactly where I am supposed to be, if that makes sense. So I would say to you, if you are wondering, make sure that you are not moving in confusion. Make sure that you know exactly what you want to do. Stay focused, stay on your goals, stay grind up. And sometimes when something doesn't work out for you, like for me, for example, I didn't get into the school that I wanted to get into. And then something better came along. It was cheaper for me to go to school out here. And then on top of that, I ended up finding a job. At first I got a graduate assistantship, which was cool. It paid enough money for me to get a little bit of stuff and helps pay my bills, but it really wasn't anything spectacular, any type of long job or like full-time job. But then probably about a month into me being here, I started full-time at my job now, making more money than I did in DC, having in a career that I actually fell into and I actually loved unexpectedly. And I would say that I just knew that it was for me, and whatever God has for you is going to be for you. So if you want to move and you really think that that's for you, if God said it's for you, it will be so. Nobody can stand in your way. Nothing is going to get out of the way. So I just want to encourage you, if you want to do something, follow your heart, stay prayed up, and make sure that you are smart in your decisions. And then if you have any other questions about that, go ahead and leave them in the comments, because I want to make sure I touch on them throughout this series. I don't really know if there's anything else that I want to add at this point, but I'm definitely going to be adding and elaborating more throughout this series. So thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely leave comments down below if you have any questions. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching me. I mean, you don't understand how grateful I am to have this community. So I will see you back here next time, and I love you. Okay, today's the day I'm moving into my apartment. This is my first apartment by myself with no roommates, nothing. Yeah, so I'm in Dallas right now. I'm about to move in and go shopping. I ordered some of my furniture already, but my bed and my couch will not be here for 2 weeks. So I'm gonna be roughing it a little bit, but it's okay. I'm gonna show you the city view. This is Dallas. I'm in the hotel right now. This is my new home.